today's starters, first for the Baylor Bears out of the Big 12. Freshman center, number 3.
This is NCAA college volleyball, today featuring the annual Asics Classic. These wavescasts are a presentation of the Pepperdine University Department of Athletics. Oh, welcome into Firestone Fieldhouse on the Pepperdine campus in Malibu. I'm Al Epstein. This is the last day of the annual Asics Classic. In our first of 3 matches, it features the Bears from Baylor. They're taking on the Gauchos from UC Santa Barbara. Well, the Baylor Bears, 2 wins and 2 losses on the season. They're coached by Ryan McGuire in his 8th year, and the Bears come off a 3-1 win over San Diego State yesterday. And today, the Bears take on a solid team in Santa Barbara. Despite the 0-4 record, they are very good, and they're coached by Nicole Lantane. Welch, she's in her 10th year, and the Gauchos, they come off a 3-1 loss against Pepperdine last night. Starting lineups for this morning's contest. Got a small crowd on hand, but we probably have 100 plus here in the building. It's a small arena, Firestone Fieldhouse, that seats about 3,100. Starting lineups for today's match for Santa Barbara. They will start on the outside, Brianna McKnight, along with Tallulah Foley and Michelle Owabede. In the middle, Nia Coryell, along with Denny Wilson. The center, Megan Shimoda, and the libero will be McCall Peed. For Baylor, ranked number 9 in the nation, the outside hitters of Riley Simpson and Lauren Harrison. Sophia King will be the defensive specialist. In the middle, Mallory Talbert and Kara McGee. The center, the sensational freshman Avery Carlson, and the libero, Lauren Briseno. Our officials for this morning's contest, it will be Corey Golker, the up official, and Sid Church will be the down official. It's the best 3 out of 5, first 4 sets to 25. You must win by 2, and there's no ceiling. If they go to a 5th set, they will play to 15. And again, you must win by 2, and there is no cap. The Bears will be in their green, gold, and black, moving right to left. The Gauchos, they will be in their blue and white. And for the Gauchos looking for their first win, this is a team picked second in the Big West Conference. Hawaii is picked first. And last year, the Gauchos went 17-3 in league, finishing in second, 21-11 overall. And they have 3 first-team all-conference players returning, and so very optimistic. Even so, they start 0-4. They've been trying to settle their setters down. Once they get healthy, and they should be a much better team as the season rolls on. It will be Baylor to start things off, moving right to left, and the jump serve. Always tough for these teams to play this early in the morning. The shot from long range, and it is a point for Santa Barbara. And knocking it down is the all-conference outside hitter, Michelle Owabede. He was the Big West Freshman of the Year in 2021, 5'10" junior from Oakland, California, and Bishop O'Dowd High School. This is McCall Peed, who was outstanding last night against Pepperdine, had 22 digs, and driving it right over the middle is Kara McGee. McGee yesterday was just controlling the net. She had 11 blocks and 9 kills. She's a 3-time All Big 12 Conference selection at 6'5" out of San Antonio. For both these teams, they are excellent blocking squads, so this match may be won at the net. And there you go, right up front, Allie Check and Kara McGee. Allie Check also played well yesterday, 5 blocks in limited minutes and had 4 kills, a top freshman. For Baylor, they have 8 freshmen and 3 sophomores, and their recruiting class was ranked number 4 in the country. Service error and side out to Santa Barbara. The Gauchos, a veteran team, but again, blocking's going to be the key, I think, whoever wins this match. Yesterday, Baylor was so strong at the net in their win over San Diego State. They outblocked the Aztecs 39-12. Wasn't even close. Kara McGee with 11 Mallory Talbert had 9 blocks. We mentioned Check with 5, and they really control things. Baylor hit 277 last night over San Diego State. Held the Aztecs to just 0.62. Harrison blocked, but she gets it back and puts it down. Lauren Harrison, a 6-foot senior, 3 times all Big 12 conference selection, a transfer from North Carolina, where she was there for 2 years. She's wearing number 31 in the green and gold, and the Bears take a 3-2 lead. For these schools, they are meeting only for the 3rd time, and each team has won 1 match. The last time they met, 2017, and won by Baylor. For the Bears, after this match, they will, in all probability, head home. Maybe in time to see the football game. The Bears open up against the University of Albany later this evening in Waco. But for Santa Barbara, they're going to have to stick around. Firing away, Denny Wilson, the middle blocker. Wilson, first team all Big West last year. 4-3 Bears in set number 1. But for the Gauchos, they're going to play again later tonight at 7 p.m. against San Diego State. It will be the last match in this Asics Classic. Pepperdine and San Diego State will play at noon, and for the Waves, they can win this tournament. They are 2-0, wins over Baylor and Santa Barbara. And take on the Aztecs. There's a service ace for the Aztecs. For Pepperdine, they have won this tournament 16 times of the previous 23 seasons, but they haven't won it since 2018. University of Washington captured the crown last year. This is Owa Beatty, first team all Big West as a freshman of the year. Check firing away. Owa Beatty able to cover. On the other side, McKnight from long range, and controlled there as Briseno sets Check on the outside, who scores. Allie Check is a 6'4" freshman coming out of Sugar Land, Texas, and George Ranch High School. Sugar Land just outside of Houston. She was regarded as a top 35 recruit and a first-team All-American. The Gauchos try to go to the middle. They struggle with the pass, and it's going to be too many hits against the Gauchos. Point to Baylor. 6-4, the Baylor Bears up. Santa Barbara, about 60 miles north of Malibu, up along the coast. It's a beautiful area, just like Malibu, where Pepperdine is located. On the outside, that is Tallulah Froley. Froley, a 6-foot senior from Half Moon Bay, California. He was also honorable mention All Big West last year and first team All Conference in 2019. This is Denny Wilson, sensational middle blocker. Over the middle, pounding it is Harrison. Can the Gauchos get it over? And they do. It is Peed to volley it back. On the other side, that is Talbert. Kept in play by Santa Barbara. McKnight, long shot, no good. There was such a great rallies by Santa Barbara and Pepperdine last night. Waves prevailing 3-1. The McCall Peed was sensational for the Gauchos. 22 digs. Owa Beatty had 15 kills, leading the Gauchos. 10 for Denny Wilson, and she also had 8 blocks, wearing number 20 in white and blue for Santa Barbara. Service ace, 8-5 the Baylor Bears. So you have 2 teams. They're going to be very strong in their conferences. For Baylor, who finished second last year, went to the NCAA tournament, the block, and it's going to be good. They may have called a net against Santa Barbara, and a point to the Baylor Bears, who are up 9-5. So the Bears last year going 14-2 in conference, 22-6 overall. And they defeated Texas A&M, Washington State, then lost to Minnesota in the Sweet 16. Off the blocks and a point once again for the Bears. They lead 10-5. And we're going to get a timeout taken by Santa Barbara as Baylor on a nice roll. And 4 straight points, and they take a 10-5 lead in set number 1. For the Bears, they have been tested early in the season. They opened the season against number 4 Minnesota, lost 3-1, but then the big win over Wisconsin, the defending national champions, and ranked number 3 at the time. And for Baylor, they came away with a thrilling 3-2 win. And they come into Malibu, they take on a Pepperdine team that very well might be top 20, top 15, and currently ranked number 34 in the country. And Pepperdine looked awfully good on Thursday night before 700 fans. And the Waves won that over Baylor 3-1. But then the Bears bouncing back yesterday over San Diego State, holding the Aztecs at just .062 hitting percentage, and then out blocking the Aztecs 39-12. Make no mistake about it, the Bears, who come into this ranked number 9 in the country, is a very strong team in that Big 12 conference. Texas is picked to win the league. Currently, Texas is the number 1 ranked team in the country, followed by Baylor, and then Iowa State, Kansas, and Texas Tech. Of course, the Big 12 is going through a lot of changes. There's a service error. Ball gets away from Cassie Davis, the 6'4" junior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. 10-6. Gauchos get the ball back. As the Gauchos make a substitution, Asia Farmer comes in. Grace Mcintosh, who began as the setter and now being replaced by Megan Shimoda, the 5'9" senior. Gotta watch Shimoda how her serves. She tosses it as high as you've ever seen on a service. And she's got a strong serve. Had a couple of aces yesterday against Pepperdine. High toss, look at that. Jump serve goes deep, and she got an ace. Well, that is poetry in motion. That is not easy. She has to time that perfectly. Even in the men's game, you rarely see the ball being tossed that high. So Shimoda once again, she'll go in at center as well. Shimoda this year. Couple of aces, the high toss, rocks and fires. A good jump serve. Joust at the net, won by Baylor. Ball knocked back, Coryell rejected. A touch there, but then the stuff by Talbert. Now, Mallory Talbert, the transfer from Texas A&M, who led the Aggies with 99 blocks last year. She is a sensational player. Talbert at 6'3", graduate senior from Montgomery, Texas. But to get a player of this caliber, at 9 blocks yesterday against San Diego State, 11-7 in favor of Baylor. Set 1, McKnight pounds it. No, make it actually Tasia Farmer. Farmer, 6-foot junior from Highland, Utah. 35 kills, second on the team, only to Michelle Olabede. And Farmer, in 2018, was the Utah State Player of the Year. Excellent athlete. Also played basketball in high school. Riley Simpson shot missing. Riley Simpson led Baylor yesterday with 14 kills. Redshirt freshman at 6'4". In the Big West Conference, Hawaii is picked to win the league, followed by Santa Barbara. Cal Poly San Luis Obispo 3rd. Long Beach State 4th. UC Irvine 5th. We get a whistle. They get double contact against Baylor and a point to Santa Barbara. Brianna McKnight serving. You see the 5'10" junior from Scottsdale, Arizona. Explosive hitter, and then a service error. The Gauchos have been a pretty good serving team. They've outaced their opponents 23-21, but their strength, like Baylor, is their blocking. And so far in the first 4 matches, the Gauchos have outblocked their opponents one-sided 79-52. They've been that strong. Baylor has outblocked their opponents 94-77. That's certainly one of their strengths. And Baylor fumbles it, and a point to the Gauchos. Baylor might be a little bit better handling team, and the edge in serving might go to the Gauchos. 12-11, the Gauchos down by 1, and here's McCall P. The libero last year was first team all-conference, and she had 485 digs. She transferred from Penn State, where she played 2 years. 5'7" junior from San Diego. Southpaw, floater serve on the backside. That is Simpson, covered by Peed. And we're going to get, let's see, a double contact against Santa Barbara. For both these teams, a 10 a.m. start can be a little challenging. For Baylor, they played at 4 p.m. yesterday, but it was Santa Barbara. They got off to a late start. The second match didn't begin till about 6:30. And didn't end till almost 9 p.m. And with a quick hit, Denny Wilson. Wilson, 6'2" junior from Los Angeles, heavily recruited coming out of high school. Hawaii, Colorado, Arkansas, San Diego State. First team all Big West last year, wearing number 20 for the Gauchos. 34 kills on the team, third best. Last year she had 391 with 267 kills, Denny Wilson. All right, Gauchos serving, 13-12. This is Czech driving the ball, covered by Santa Barbara on the backside. Froley able to get the point. Boy, that's a tough shot going way inside, cross court. It's a little Flurry. All right, Grace Mcintosh, setter, comes in. 5'11" sophomore from Rancho Santa Margarita and Tesoro High School here in Southern California. Kara McGee. McGee certainly will be all tournament. She's replaced by Mallory Talbert. 14-13 Baylor. People think because Santa Barbara's 0-4 that they will go quietly into the night. And not the case. This should be a very competitive match. Firing away, Denny Wilson. 14-14. Pepperdine, San Diego State to follow. 30 minutes at the conclusion of this match. And we'll have that on the WCC network. And then later tonight at 7 o'clock, San Diego State and Santa Barbara will be back on YouTube. Carlson, check, and a shot attempt misfires just long. Ryan McGuire, the head coach of the Bears in his 8th season. In 2019, he was the National Coach of the Year. He came to Baylor from Florida State, where he was an assistant for 2 years, service error, and side out Baylor, and we're tied at 15. He was also an assistant in Maryland for 2 years. Is the former head coach. He's actually a Southern California guy. He was the head coach at Cal Baptist men and women's programs from 2002 through 2011. Mcintosh on the backside, set to Froley. Diving save by Briseno. The Gauchos thought they had the point, and now they do. Oh, what a great play by Briseno, the libero, for Baylor just to keep that ball in play. 16-15 Gauchos. Oh, Ryan McGuire won 6 NAIA national titles on the men's side. He won 3 NAIA national championships on the women's side. You talk about great success. Quick hitter there by Carlson. And was 16-16. And in 2010, Ryan McGuire was the coach of the year in men's volleyball and women's volleyball. Is the only time in the history of NCAA college volleyball to win both honors in the same season. He's also a former head coach of Biola for 3 years on the men's side. Mcintosh setting. We're going to get a whistle. They get double contact against Santa Barbara. Again, they've been using 3 different setters. Their main setter, Mehana Ma'a, played a little bit yesterday, a 6'1" senior. We've seen Megan Shimoda and now Grace Mcintosh, who did not play yesterday against Pepperdine. As a service error. We're tied at 17. Now, Ryan McGuire actually played club volleyball here in Southern California at Biola and graduated back in 1998. His brother Brent is the captain of the Los Angeles Police Department. So yeah, Ryan McGuire definitely has his roots here in Southern California. He's an outstanding coach. 2019 National Coach of the Year. He got the Bears all the way to the semifinals in the NCAA tournament before losing to Stanford. All right, this Shimoda, a high toss and delivers long. 18-17 Baylor. Last year, the Gauchos on the road were 11-5. And for Baylor on the road, they were 13-4. For Santa Barbara, their first 8 matches are on the road. They'll be at New Mexico State for 2 matches next Friday and Saturday. And for Baylor, they're going to return home for the Bear Invitational. Nice save by Harrison. Outside, Simpson scoring. Give the credit to Lauren Harrison in the backcourt, able to keep that ball in play. 19-17 Baylor. But for the Bears, they'll play on Thursday, September 8th, in an opening round of that tournament against Colorado State, a team picked to win the Mountain West Conference. That'll be a challenge for Baylor. Oh, nice block up front. That was Kara McGee, and Baylor scores. Also in that Baylor tournament next week, we'll play again on Saturday, as we get a timeout taken by the Santa Barbara Gauchos, trailing now 20-17 as Baylor on a 4-0 run and trying to close out set number 1. But Arizona State and Evansville will both be in that tournament in Waco next weekend. Mentioned big weekend. College football in full swing today. An exciting time of the year. Fall coming up. Women's volleyball, women's soccer. Pepperdine's women's soccer team ranked number 14 in the nation. And Santa Barbara's team always strong. And you have the Major League Baseball races winding down, the NFL getting ready to start. So, yeah, it is a great time of year in college and professional sports. 2017, Bears leading in set number 1. NCAA tournament gets underway December 1st to the 3rd in women's volleyball, the national championship this year, December 15th to the 17th, semis and championship in Omaha, Nebraska. Pepperdine, San Diego State to follow at approximately noon. So the Bears going to serve. Mallory Talbert, the transfer from Texas A&M. What a big addition to this Baylor team. Jump floater. Pete has to handle it. Shimoda goes outside with a rip. And by Farmer, covered there by Baylor. The ball is hit. We're going to get a back row violation against Santa Barbara. And a point to Baylor. On a 5-0 run, 21-17. Talbot again. A late surge by the Baylor Bears. Bears hitting 312. The Gauchos 100 to start things. Gauchos with a couple of aces, 3 errors. For the Bears, 1 ace and 4 errors. Seen some strong serving by every team in this tournament and made many mistakes. McKnight at the service line. Carlson on the backside. Karen McGee saved by Santa Barbara and tapped over. And Owabebe able to get the point. Number 19, this is one of the best players you will see all season long. The sophomore, first team all-conference last year in the Big West as a freshman, and the 2021 Big West Freshman of the Year. This is McKnight. 21-19, Gauchos trying to rally. Outside, Simpson pounds it. Covered back there by McKnight. Quick set to Coryell at 6'4", the middle blocker, able to get the point. Well, here comes Santa Barbara. Well, Baylor brought a lot of family and friends and relatives and alumni in attendance, and Santa Barbara just up the coast brought some fans down as well. McKnight serving, good floater. Carlson outside, Simpson, the block, no good. Avery Carlson, the freshman setter, a 4-time high school All-American and last year's National Player of the Year. Wearing number 3 for Baylor. She was regarded as the number 4 recruit in the country. She has started as a freshman and she's playing great so far for the Bears as they get an ace. A big point for Baylor late. 23-20 Baylor, and that's Carlson. Well, here be Carlson averaging 9.71 assists per set. And she has really picked things up. Great serve A pair of aces by Carlson. The bottom fell out of that. It is set point number 1 for the Baylor Bears. There you see the National High School Player of the Year, Avery Carlson. Another jump floater, Pede this time handled at Shimoda on the outside. Abedi, and firing and getting the kill. Boy, along the sideline, that is not an easy shot. Denny Wilson comes back in for the Gauchos. Set point number 2, Baylor 24, Santa Barbara 21. McCall Pede, the transfer from Penn State. First team all Big West last year. From San Diego. Of course, Penn State always a strong program. Overpass and the stuff there. Abedi along with Wilson. Set point number 3 as the Gauchos close it to just 2 points, 24-22. For Baylor, struggling here at the end. Baylor's going to go to the bench. They bring in Elise McGee, the younger sister of Kara, 6'4" sophomore from San Antonio. More strength up front. And a service there, and that's it. And Baylor has won set number 1, 25-22. And the Bears take a 1-0 lead in this first set. For Baylor, they end up hitting 316. The Gauchos 192. We mentioned how important the blocking will be in this match as the team will change sides to get ready for set number 2. So far, Baylor with 10 blocks and UC Santa Barbara 0. And certainly a difference maker there. The Bears, well-balanced attack. And they come away with a 25-22 win over Santa Barbara in set number 1. Serving the Gauchos had a couple of aces, 4 errors, and for Baylor, 3 aces and 4 service errors. Denny Wilson leading Santa Barbara with 4 kills. We'll come back with set number 2. The Bears have a 1-0 lead, a 25-22 win in the first set. You're watching Wavecast, the Asics Classic Invitational on YouTube. Well, welcome back into Firestone Fieldhouse on the Pepperdine campus, the 24th annual Asics Invitational. I'm Al Epstein, and the Baylor Bears come away with a 25-22 win in the first set. As we get ready for the second set, the Bears moving left to right in their green, gold, and black, and for the Gauchos in their blue and white. Our officials for today's match: the up official is Corey Golker. The down official is Sid Church. Following this match, we'll have Pepperdine, San Diego State, and then later tonight there will be San Diego State and Santa Barbara. So the Aztecs and Gauchos have a long day. For Baylor, they figured to go home a little bit later this evening. For the Bears, ranked number 9 in the country, 2-2 on the year. And for the Gauchos, who were picked second in the Big West, but struggling just a bit as they are 0-4. San Diego State, a much improved team. The Waves are going to have a battle a little bit later on as Pepperdine tries to win this 24th annual Asics Classic. Aztecs are 2-2 as they come into this tournament. All right, Gauchos will be serving to start things off. Over the middle, that is Karen McGee. What a save by Pede. On the outside, Lauren Harrison. The Bears take a 1-0 lead. Now, this is Lauren Briseno, the libero, part-time starter last year. Leading the team with 46 digs this season. On the outside, the shot attempt there by Santa Barbara. That is Farmer. Ball kept in play. What a great play by McCall Pede. Gaucho's able to get it over. This is check off the blocks. Santa Barbara also is an excellent ball handling team. And they showed that there with McCall Pede, who is so efficient in the backcourt. Bears lead 2-0. We'll see how the Gauchos try to come back. And again, the Gauchos struggle. Back there was Grace Mcintosh, who's in at center. They also have Megan Shimoda. All right, Briseno serving. 3-0 Baylor, off to a good start. Coryell drops it over. Carlson tapped over by Talbert. Pede sets, goes outside to Owabedi. Briseno outside to Check, who goes long and misfires out of bounds. Check had a good look, but trying to avoid the block went high. And a point to Santa Barbara, 3-1 Baylor. McCall Pede at the service line. Just a sensational player. For Santa Barbara, they have gone to the NCAA tournament 29 times. So they've been just about a regular. Harrison pounds it. Oh, diving play back there by the Gauchos, able to come up with the point. Great defensive effort by Santa Barbara. That was Megan Shimoda with the diving save to keep it in play. Allow Santa Barbara to score. 3-2. Serving is Pede. Outside Check, firing away. Gauchos control. And bad pass. Again, that's where the Gauchos have struggled. And one reason why they are 0-4 to start the season. Get those mishandling the ball, double contacts. The timing might be off. But it's early in the year, and again, Santa Barbara is going to get that much better. This is Sophia Keene, another high school All-American defensive specialist. Outside, that is Farmer, covered by Baylor. Harrison taps it over. On the backside, Owabedi, and able to score. Right there was Talbot along with Carlson. All right, Mcintosh back in. And Tallulah Froley also returns for Santa Barbara. 4-3 Bears. And Baylor goes back on defense. Gauchos bring it into play. Carlson runs it down outside to Harrison with a push. And we're going to get mishandling the ball against Baylor. And we're even at 4. But for Baylor, when you have 8 freshmen, and again, most of them are high school All-Americans, really top recruits, 3 sophomores, you tend to make those mistakes as well. Mishandling the ball, timing, double contact. These get better and better. Harrison drives it, covered there by Mcintosh, and the other side, Owabedi. Carlson on the backside, tapped over by Talbot, diving save by Pede, and volleyed back by Mcintosh. Harrison this time able to get the kill. Some great plays on both sides, and finally Baylor gets the point. Santa Barbara brings in Sophie Messenger, a 6-foot senior from Lake Forest, California played quite a bit yesterday against Pepperdine and played well. Baylor, again, just to show you their youth and their win over San Diego State, they were up 2-0, and they had 6 match points and could not close it out. San Diego State rallied, win that third set 29-27, and then Baylor regrouped and won the match 3-1 with a rip. Riley Simpson. The young team will do that. They could not finish against San Diego State. 6 match points, and the Aztecs able to rally and get the match to a 4th set, and then causing Santa Barbara and Pepperdine to play about a half hour later than the scheduled time at 6 p.m. They started around 6:25. They'll clean things up on the Santa Barbara side. 6-4 Baylor. Bears won the first set 25-22. So far the Bears are hitting 242. The Gauchos 171. Diggs 16-9 Gauchos. But the blocking has been all Baylor, at least early on. Froley with a hit. Carlson cross court to Simpson and able to score. Riley Simpson. Betty has 4 kills. Denny Wilson with 4 leading the Gauchos. Simpson now with 4 kills. Lauren Harrison with 3. And Allie Check with 2. Blocking 10-0 Baylor. And we are early in the second set. Froley with a smash hit. 7-5, Gauchos down by 2. Michelle Obete at the service line. And leading scorer this year for the Gauchos, 36 kills. One of the outstanding players, young players in the country. Good jump serve. Outside, Simpson goes high and missed it long. And that block. Denny Wilson is outstanding up front. And so is Tallulah Froley. Obete once again, 7-6 Baylor. And service here, side out Baylor. Of course, in that Big 12 conference that Baylor is in, and by the way, their football team had such a great year last year. They're picked to win the Big 12 this season. With Texas and Oklahoma going to the Southeastern Conference in a couple of years as they'll clean things up on the Santa Barbara side. But with those 2 schools leaving, the Big 12 will add 4 schools next year, including BYU out of the West Coast Conference that Pepperdine plays in, and along with Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida. They'll all be in the Big 12, and who knows who else may come into the Big 12. Of course, the Pac-12 with a lot of movement. SC, UCLA going to the Big 10 in 2024. What's the Pac-12 to do? There has been speculation, and again, only rumor, nothing serious, but just on the streets, that San Diego State and Boise State could move into the Pac-12. But the Pac-12 could still lose more schools. Big 10, Southeastern Conference, Big 12 figured to be strong. About the Atlantic Coast Conference, could they be hit? Could Clemson and North Carolina move to the Southeastern Conference? At the net, they joust. We get a whistle. Going to be a violation against Santa Barbara. Point to Baylor, and the Bears up 10-6. Bears who are so strong up front, as is Santa Barbara. All right, Mallory Talbert at the service line. A lot of ball movement on that serve. Wilson with a rip. Big point for the Gauchos. One thing for Santa Barbara, they do have a lot of experience, and although they're struggling early, they know they're just going to get better and better, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the Big West Conference. You always have to deal with Hawaii when it comes to volleyball. They're so strong year in and year out. Kara McGee is rejected up front by Corio. Along with Sophie Rivas, a 6'2" freshman from Laguna Beach. Nicole Lantane Welch in her 10th year as head coach of Santa Barbara. A 3-time Big West Conference Coach of the Year. That was touched, so it's a service ace. And Denny Wilson gets a bullet, and it's 10-9. Gauchos down by 1. So Coach Welch, Coach of the Year in the Big West 2012, 2013, 2018. Gauchos went to the NCAA tournament last time in 2019. 29 appearances overall. And Nicole Lantane Welch, before coming to Santa Barbara, was the head coach of Miami of Florida for 12 years. Actually started the women's program at Miami back in 2000. She's a legendary coach. And we're tied at 10 in the second set. Karen McGee drops it over. And Nicole Lantane Welch played her volleyball at Maryland. She was a 3-time All-ACC selection and graduated in 1993. She is Maryland's all-time leader in assists, digs, and minutes played. And her assistant, Janelle, was an All-American at Pittsburgh. Big hit for Lula Froley scoring 11-11. Mcintosh comes out. Tasia Farmer back in number 21. And Megan Shimoda at the service line. And watch the high toss. You rarely see that in the men's programs. Santa Barbara, by the way, has a very strong men's volleyball program, as does Pepperdine. High toss, that one got away. And that's just difficult to time that. She does such a great job. Rarely does she miss it. But the ball is tossed so high, as you're coming forward, you have to meet it perfectly. And Riley Simpson, the redshirt freshman, 6'4", second-team All-American in high school, service air. 12-12 in set 2. And yes, Santa Barbara plays in the Big West in men's volleyball. And Pepperdine, again, there's only about 40 schools playing NCAA Division I men's volleyball with a lot of Division II schools. Pepperdine's men's volleyball program plays in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation and have won 5 national titles. Pepperdine, of course, the host school in this tournament. And the outside, Lauren Harrison. 13-12 Baylor. Pepperdine, San Diego State to follow at approximately noon. But the way this match is unfolding, it may have a little bit later start. Briseno, this libero. Run down by Shimoda on the backside. Farmer cannot get it over. 14-12 Baylor. Bears again. Some of the most notable alumni at Baylor. Max Muncy, played baseball at Baylor. Now, of course, playing well with the Dodgers. And Willie Nelson, great country western musician, singer, songwriter. Alumni at Baylor University. Pete with a great save. Tapped over by Owabede. Goes on the other side. Harrison with a smash hit and got it. Boy, Pete once again coming up with a great save. And the Bears have a lead of 15-12. Santa Barbara takes a timeout, trying to slow things down for Baylor that is on a 3-0 run and building up a lead. Lauren Harrison now with 5 kills, Riley Simpson with 4, and Karen McGee with 4. Blocking still now 10-2 in favor of Baylor. For Santa Barbara, their leading scorer, the middle blocker, Denny Wilson. And Tallulah Froley has 5. Wilson also with 5, and Michelle Owabede with 4, and 3 for Tasia Farmer. For the Bears, they're now hitting 238. The Gauchos only 163. Serving, and both teams have been very efficient. Baylor 4 aces, just 5 airs. The Gauchos 3 aces and 6 airs. Digs, 17 for Santa Barbara, 12 for Baylor. So 15-12, the Baylor Bears won the first set 25-22, and on a mini run of 3 straight points to grab the lead. Allie Check returns. Baylor team, 8 freshmen, 3 sophomores. And they all figure to play. I mean, they're all big-time players coming out of high school, most of them All-Americans. Mentioned Avery Carlson the number 4 recruit in the nation, Alexis DaCosta, who is in there in the back row, was rated number 5 in the country. Carlson's the highest rated player ever to be recruited at Baylor. All right, the Gauchos outside Oabedi trying to come up with it. DaCosta, she cannot. 15-13, Gauchos down by 2. DaCosta, 5'11", freshman from Katy, Texas. Before that, Kara McGee, coming out of high school in San Antonio, was rated the number 6 player in the nation. A 3-time All-Big 12 player, Lauren Harrison. 16-13 Baylor. They're at Firestone Fieldhouse on the Pepperdine campus in Malibu. Capacity here is about 3,100. We got maybe 150 on hand on this morning start. The first of 3 matches, the last day in the Asics Classic, 24th annual, outside Oabedi. A shot no good, long. 17-13 Baylor. I think this is the biggest lead by either team in the second set. Sophia Keane, another high school All-American. Freshman, tapped over. Briseno sets in the back row. The shot by Keane, long. Point to Santa Barbara. Grace Mcintosh comes in, setter, and she'll be in to serve. Tallulah Froley also returns, number 5. 17-13 Bears. Located in Waco, Texas. Population about 139,000 between Dallas and Austin. Shot attempt by Harrison. Covered back there by Mcintosh. Outside Oabedi. Carlson runs it down. Harrison drops it over. Mcintosh, that's Oabedi again, covered by Keane. Harrison takes a shot and able to score. Off the hands of Wilson as she went inside. It's a nice read by Lauren Harrison. Transfer from North Carolina. Her uncle, Buck Williams, played in the NBA. He was 6'10". And Buck Williams played in the NBA from 1981 through 1988. Played with the Portland Trail Blazers, the Knicks, and the Nets. Lauren making a name for herself. 18-15, the Gauchos able to get a point. Back in for the Gauchos, Sophie Rivas. There's Oabedi at the service line, 18-15 Baylor. Bears up 1-0. Good jump serve. Carlson sets in the back row. Harrison, shot no good. 18-16. Oabedi one more time. Big West Freshman of the Year last season. First team all-conference. Got a service ace. Gauchos coming in and out-aced their opponents 23-21 on the young season. Last year, they were a strong serving team, out-acing their opponents 152-122. Bears coming in have been out-aced 18-14, and Riley Simpson with the put away. Going cross court and avoiding the block, 19-17 Bears. And Lauren Harrison, leading scorer for Baylor with 6 kills. Simpson now with 5. Mallory Talbert at the service line. Transfer from Texas A&M. Back set and driving the ball to Tallulah Froley. And Froley, honorable mention last year in the Big West. Only 6-foot junior from Half Moon Bay, California, up in the San Francisco area. 19-18 as they wind down this second set. Outside, pounding it, Simpson. Riley Simpson, 2018. Avery Carlson, number 4 recruit in the nation, high school player of the year. Gauchos on the attack. They struggle a little bit. Can they get it over? No.
Point goes to the Bears.
So with Rivas coming in, number 4, she didn't play the first 2 matches. In fact, Rivas this season had only played 1 set. She's getting some playing time today. 21-18 Baylor, and they get themselves another point, 22-18. The Bears trying to go up 2 sets to none. The Gauchos are going to take a timeout as the Bears on a 3-0 run once again. And trying to go up 2 sets to none. They won the first set 25-22. Pepperdine, San Diego State to follow 30 minutes after the conclusion of this match. Well, you're watching Wavecast, a production of the Pepperdine University Department of Athletics, and today's match being brought to you by Lux Bus America, the exclusive bus transportation partners of Pepperdine Athletics. Lux Bus America, covering more ground in more places. And nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like TicketSmarter. For tickets to your favorite sports, concerts, and theater events, visit TicketSmarter.com. TicketSmarter is proud to be the official ticket resale partner of Pepperdine Athletics. Think smarter, think TicketSmarter. 22-18 Baylor. Bears up 1 set to none. Baylor now hitting .224 for the match. Gauchos 176. Bears came into this match hitting .211 on the season. They've held their opponents to a .219 hitting percentage. Santa Barbara came into this match hitting .183 in the early part of the year. Opponents at .240. Both these teams just about right on target. Kenny Wilson, 6 kills. Tallulah Froley with 6 kills leading Santa Barbara. All right, Carlson again. Not a good pass. Rivas outside, goes cross court. So Rivas, just a freshman. Gauchos, for the most part, a veteran team. You have 5 freshmen on the squad. Again, such a lot of experience when you have 3 first-team all-conference players returning. Playing time is going to be somewhat limited for the younger players. And all right, Shimoda at the service line for Santa Barbara. Down 22-19. They got a big point a moment ago. Took a little bit off that serve, a top spin, but then Kara McGee puts it away. 23-19. Baylor. Kara McGee with her 5th kill. She's got a couple of blocks today. Riley Simpson, outside hitter, redshirt freshman, comes up short. 23-20. It was close in the first set, and a late run by Baylor able to win it. And now Santa Barbara kind of in the same situation and looking to get a late run and try to pull this out. They will clean things up on the Baylor side. The Gauchos, they will have Sophie Messenger, the 6-foot senior from Lake Forest, to come in to serve and try to rally this Santa Barbara team looking for their first win of the season, 0-4. It's a little bit of a surprise. We have not seen Yana Ma'a, who usually starts for Santa Barbara at the setter position. Harrison with a smash hit. It's set point number 1 for Baylor, 24-20. You see Mallory Talbert, number 11, the transfer from Texas A&M, and Lauren Briseno. The libero at the service line. She actually leads Baylor with 4 service aces on the year. Now set point number 1. 24-20 Briseno. This is Shimoda setting Oabede, and the block by Check along with Carlson, and Baylor wins set number 2, 25-20. And Baylor now takes a 2-0 lead over Santa Barbara. The teams will change sides as we get ready for set number 3. In that second set, the Gauchos only hit 111 and Baylor 250. For the match, Baylor's hitting 275 and Santa Barbara hitting 151. Gauchos have been led by Denny Wilson and Tallulah Froley, each with 6 kills. Baylor, 8 kills for Lauren Harrison, and Riley Simpson with 6. Karen McGee with 5 putaways. Blocking for Baylor, 14 to Santa Barbara's 2. And we mentioned right at the start of this match, match is probably going to be won at the net. Both teams outstanding blockers. 14-2 Baylor with the early edge. Diggs, 18 for Santa Barbara and 14 for Baylor. We will come back with set number 3. The Baylor Bears up 2-0. You're watching Wavecast, the Asics Classic Invitational on YouTube. Well, the Baylor Bears with a 2-0 lead over Santa Barbara on this opening game on the last day of the 24th annual Asics Invitational. I'm Al Epstein. Glad you could join us on this college football Saturday. Great day throughout the country in football, women's volleyball. A lot of teams playing this weekend. Bears win the first 2 sets, 25-22 and 25-20. Baylor hitting 275 for the match. The Gauchos at 151. Our officials for today's first match, the up official is Corey Golker, and the down official is Sid Church. A heat wave here in Southern California along the coast, about 82 degrees, and driving up the coast earlier today, about 7:30 in the morning, it was around 75 degrees, but the beaches were already crowded with a lot of people trying to cool off. They say it'll get over 110 in the valleys today, and it may get even hotter here in Southern California tomorrow. For Baylor, they figure to head back home later today, maybe early this evening. For Santa Barbara, they're going to stick around. They'll go back to the local hotel. They'll come back and play tonight against San Diego State at 7 p.m. and we'll have a live Wavecast on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch and listen. All right, the Bears moving right to left. Green, gold, and black, and the Gauchos in their white and blue. Carlson serving outside Farmer. Right there's Briseno. It goes to Simpson. Great save by Pede. Shimoda saves outside Oabete, and off the blocks, and Michelle able to score. So far, Baylor's done a pretty good job on Michelle Oabete, who now has 6 kills. Leading scorer for the Gauchos this year with 36 coming in. Nicole Pede Transfer from Penn State, sensational libero, first team all-conference. Karen McGee with the put away. A quick attack. Wave San Diego State, sometime about noon. For Baylor, last year they recorded 13 shutouts, 13 sweeps. They were shut out just once. For Santa Barbara, they had 14 shutouts and were shut out only one time. Great save by Briseno. Back row, Simpson able to score. Trying to come up with the save. The Santa Barbara, Sophie Messenger, but could not. 2-1 Baylor. So you start thinking a sweep, a shutout when you're up 2-0. And yesterday, Baylor had San Diego State down 2-0 and had match point 6 times and could not finish. That shot was good. Just inside the sidelines. Tied at 2. Grace Mcintosh, center coming in, will go back to serve. Yesterday it was Mihana Ma'a and Megan Shimoda alternating at center. And today it's been Shimoda and now Grace Mcintosh. And that's certainly one of the reasons rotate different setters. Ma hadn't played the first 3 matches. You kind of wonder if she's still hurting with some injuries. Check gets the kill. Another sensational freshman. She was rated top 35 in the country coming out of high school. Allie Check at 6'4", Sugar Land, Texas. Played very well yesterday against San Diego State. Ace for Baylor. Lauren Briseno, the libero. Bears off to a good start. Bears did win the match yesterday, by the way, over San Diego State after unable to finish in 3 and match point 6 times. And went 29-27 before the Aztecs won. Labete with the kill. 4-3, the Gauchos down by 1. Back in for Santa Barbara, Sophie Rivas. Labete, jump floater. Carlson sets Harrison over the block and drops it in. Wilson was there along with McIntosh. A nice read by Lauren Harrison. 3 times all Big 12. Transfer from North Carolina. Over there for 2 years. Right, Sophia Keene, regarded as a top 100 recruit. Another second-team high school All-American. On the backside, Froley and attack air had a great look and just couldn't knock it down. 6-3 Baylor. Baylor team is so young. 8 freshmen, 3 sophomores, and they all figure to be on the court most of the time this year. Diving save back there by DaCosta. That's what she does really well, at least a freshman coming up, the number 5 recruit in the country. Wearing number 15 for Baylor. 7-3 Bears. Again, another attack air for Santa Barbara, so they are struggling. With the match hitting 169, we're going to get a timeout taken by Santa Barbara. The Bears on a 3-0 run and building up a 7-3 lead and already leading 2-0 in this best 3 out of 5. Well, later today, Pepperdine, San Diego State, and then tonight at 7 p.m., it will be San Diego State and Santa Barbara. The 2 California teams will square off the Big West Conference against the Mountain West to close out this 24th annual Asics tournament. For Santa Barbara, they will stay on the road. They'll play 2 matches on Friday and Saturday at New Mexico State. For Baylor, they're going to head home. They'll play Thursday. They'll host their own tournament. They'll play Thursday the 8th. They're going to take on Colorado State, a very good team, picked to win the Mountain West Conference. And then I think they'll play on Saturday, hosting Arizona State and Evansville. Of course, the Bears have been well tested early. Start the season in that Big 10, Big 12 challenge. Take on number 4 Minnesota, and you lose to them, but competitive, 3-1, and then you knock off the defending national champs, number 3 rated Wisconsin the next night. And then they take on, go on the road to Malibu, take on a very good Pepperdine team, lose that 3-1. Bouncing back yesterday to beat San Diego State, and they're up 2-0 against a good Gauchos team. Froley with a tap and scores. 7-4. Good thing about Firestone Fieldhouse, the air conditioning works really well. You can say around the coast, and it's usually 15 to 20 degrees cooler, but this unusual heat wave in Southern California has made an impact on everyone. Backside, Talbert, was it touched? Yes, point to Baylor. Mallory Talbert, 6'3", Montgomery, Texas. Top high school basketball player in high school as well. Transfer from Texas A&M. 8-4 Baylor. Bears won the first set 25-22, won the second set 25-20. Talbert serving, back set Froley. Briseno is there. Outside to Simpson, the block unable to get it for Santa Barbara. Coryell was there. 6'4" junior, as was Froley. A 9-4 Baylor lead in the third set. For Santa Barbara, they have already been shut out once this year. Cassie Davis back there. Outside Simpson, that goes out of bounds. And a point to Santa Barbara. Gauchos were shut out by North Carolina on the 27th of August. And right now they're down 2-0, and Megan Shimoda at the service line. 9-5 Baylor. Shimoda, the center, alternating with Grace Mcintosh. High toss, delivers. The top spin, Simpson pushes it over and able to get it. Olabete could not come up with it. And 10-5 Baylor. Karen McGee back in. Three-time All-Big 12 middle blocker. Mallory Talbert at the service line. Just a big addition to this young Santa Barbara or Baylor team, as Farmer able to score. But when you have so many young players and now you bring in a graduate senior, give you a team that experience and settle that young team down, such a big addition. Megan Shimoda, the setter for Santa Barbara. And for the Gauchos, Sophie Messenger, and comes up short. 11-6 Baylor. Avery Carlson at the service line, and the high school national player of the year in 2021. Number 4 recruit in the nation, great serve. All right, Santa Barbara struggled, but they get it over. Carlson, a backside check, her shot attempt goes wide, no good. Baylor 11, and Santa Barbara 7. Nicole, first team All-Big West as the libero. She had been sensational in this tournament. 22 digs yesterday against Pepperdine. It came up short 3-1. Tapped over by Kara McGee. 12-7 Bears. Santa Barbara actually outblocked Pepperdine yesterday, 20-17. Could not prevail away. It's a very balanced, experienced team with some outstanding freshmen of their own. They'll take the court against San Diego State at approximately noon. That live wave cast on the WCC network. So that comes up 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. 12-8. Gauchos, Grace Mcintosh, the sophomore center, into serve. For Mcintosh, trying to give the Gauchos a lift Back set check, knocked down up front. Great job there. Oabete and Wilson coming up with the block. 12-9 Baylor. Mcintosh again. And service here. And surely Santa Barbara down 2-0 can ill afford that. But both teams for the most part have been very efficient serving. But the Gauchos, they have 4 aces and 9 errors. For Baylor, 6 aces, just 7 errors. Pede had a great pass. Mcintosh able to get a set hit over by Gauchos. Harrison off the hands of Wilson. When you talk with coaches, they will tell you the ace to error ratio ideally would be 1-2 or 1-3. If you have 3 aces, 9 errors, that's pretty good. For Baylor today, and they've been very good throughout this tournament, don't give away a lot of points. 6 aces, 7 errors. That's right there about 1-to-1 ratio, which is outstanding. Wilson missing at the net. And for Baylor, despite the fact they have 4 aces, 8 errors, that's a 1-to-2 ratio, also very good. And they get a timeout taken by Santa Barbara. They're struggling right now. Baylor on a 3-0 run has built up a big lead of 15-9, and the Bears up 2-0, winning 25-22 and 25-20. Yeah, serving so important. Gauchos have been a good serving team all season long, and again, 4 aces, just 8 errors, still very, very good. I see the crowd. Baylor, about 100 alumni here in Southern California. They regrouped on Thursday after the Pepperdine match. We got about 150 on hand for this first match of the day, first of 3. Had good crowds for the Pepperdine contest. They had over 700 for the Pepperdine Baylor match, and then last night against Santa Barbara, well over 500. And we'll see what kind of crowd they get at noon on a Saturday and a Labor Day weekend, and everybody wanting to go to the beach. See if they match that crowd, and are the students still sticking around here on campus. All right, so the Gauchos trying to regroup, down 15-9 and trailing 2-0. Our director-producer today, Madison Parham. Special thanks out of the Pepperdine Athletics Communications Department to Sarah Ottoman, along with Roger Horn. Can't thank them enough. They will be here all day, just like us. All right, Laura Briseno, the libero. Jump floater. She's been the best server so far early on for Baylor. Tapped over by Froley. Harrison with a great look. Pete able to get a touch on it. And but still Harrison with a power hit. And Baylor now 16-9, 4-0 run. But the Gauchos, they're struggling. They had a tough battle last night, a little bit later on with Pepperdine. And then always a rivalry along the coast, the Gauchos and the Pepperdine Waves. Oabede. Shot misfires. 17-9. 5-0 run for Baylor. Assistant coach for Santa Barbara trying to spur on his team to regroup. Got to come back at 7 p.m. later tonight and take on San Diego State, which should be a very good match. This is Harrison. Pete able to cover. Great play by the libero, volleyed over by Santa Barbara. Pete again keeps it alive. There's Messenger. Baylor on the outside. It is Check getting the point. And Baylor now seemingly in control. 18-9, a 6-0 run. Briseno at the service line. By McCall Pede. The libero for Santa Barbara. 9 digs. They've been all over the court for the Gauchos. Alexis DaCosta has 7. Number 5 recruit in the country, the freshman. 7 digs. Briseno has 5. The libero, DaCosta playing the defensive specialist. Another attack error, 19-9, 7-0 run for Baylor. The first 2 sets were very, very close. But if you're Santa Barbara, you keep battling, you fall short, it can wear on you. Pete runs it down. Froley gets it over. Outside check. Pete again. Labette knocked down Harrison and Talbert. 8-0 run, 20-9. The Baylor Bears looking to come out of this tournament 2-1. They only lost to Pepperdine on Thursday, 3-1. I'll be honest with you, Pepperdine was seemingly in control throughout. There were only 9 ties and 2 late changes in the 4 sets. Alicia Andrew comes in for Baylor, 6'4", and redshirt freshman from Ridgefield, Washington. Bears serving, moving right to left. A lot of ball movement. Ball sent over. Baylor again. Briseno sets Harrison on the backside and scores. 21-9. If this match should end early, next match, Pepperdine San Diego State, will start no matter what at noon. They finish before 11:30. It'll still be a noon start, and they wouldn't begin for about 35 minutes. But there's still a little bit left in this one. 21-9 Baylor, up 2-0. And Froley driving it. They get a whistle. They're going to get a net against Baylor. Point to Santa Barbara. Breaks a 9-0 run by the Bears. Brianna McKnight at the service line. Mcintosh back in for the Gauchos. So 21-10. Gauchos down. McKnight. Outside Harrison, great read, diving Mcintosh to keep it alive, and then Froley rejected. But we're going to get, I think, the ball might have hit the antenna. Point to Baylor. 22-10. And Sophia King comes in, another high school All-American for Baylor. Now with the Bears, it's going to be a nice trip home to Waco. Only out-of-state team as they clean things up on the Santa Barbara side. And we would think they're going to hit the road a little bit later today or early tonight to get back to Waco. And their football team opens the season against the University of Albany, 6 p.m. in Waco at home. Outside is Sophie Rivas getting the kill. 22-11. If this match should end later than 11:30, again, they would tack on 30 minutes and a good start, maybe 12:05, 12:10. Denny Wilson, first team all-conference middle blocker serving. Harrison, Lauren Harrison with a kill. 23-11. We will have a very quick wrap-up if Baylor can hold off Santa Barbara, and then we'll get ready for Pepperdine and San Diego State at approximately noon on the WCC network. Mallory Talbert. Been fun watching both these teams, all 4 teams actually. Been a great tournament. Outside DaCosta, rejected up front. Froley along with Corio. The block there for Santa Barbara. 23-12. Harrison comes in for Baylor. Harrison with 13 kills, leading all scorers. Riley Simpson with 9. Karen McGee with 7. 16 blocks for Baylor and 4 for Santa Barbara. And we talked about the ability of Baylor who outblocked San Diego State 39-12 yesterday. And that's certainly the difference, and certainly it's shown here today. Shimoda with that high toss jump serve outside DaCosta, and shot apparently was touched, and DaCosta gets the point. He's only 5'11", but a really strong, athletic outside hitter. It is match point number 1, 24-12. We'll have a quick wrap-up and then get ready for Pepperdine San Diego State in match number 2 on this Saturday. It might be challenged. Yep, there will be Santa Barbara challenging this call. The call on the court was DaCosta got the point that it was touched, and a point for Baylor. And for Santa Barbara, they're saying it was not touched. It will be Sid Church, the down official, to take a look. Got to be absolute definitive. Each coach gets 2 challenges. If you win your challenge, you keep both of them, but if you lose, you're down 1. If it goes to a 5th set, each coach gets an additional challenge. In the men's volleyball, each coach gets 3 plus 1, and the same rules apply. If you win, you keep them. If you lose, you're down 1. Well, you have nothing to lose if you're Coach Welch. Why not? Down 2 sets to none, trailing 24-12. Let's see if this is going to be reversed. You look for the trajectory of the ball, movement of the hands. Was it touch the fingers? They're trying to identify. Still say they got to put a time limit on these reviews and challenges. They can really change things. If nothing else, for Santa Barbara, it slows the momentum down to Baylor. It's like a timeout. They continue to look, but this is going on and on and on. I think 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes tops would be more than enough. Okay, finally they found something one way or the other. We'll get the official call. The call will stand. It was touched by Santa Barbara, or there just wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. Sid Church will talk to Coach Welch. So, match point. The Bears serving. It's Alicia Andrew, the 6'4" middle blocker, redshirt freshman from Richfield, Washington. And service here. That'll be match point number 2, 24-13. The Gauchos, they're looking at their 2nd shutout of the year. For Baylor, their 1st of the season after getting 13 last year en route to a 22-6 record. All right, Sophie Messenger at the service line for Santa Barbara. Baylor outside, shot was touched. Mallory Talbert with the point, and Baylor has won. 25-13, and Baylor sweeps the Gauchos for the victory. They go 2-1 in the tournament. Heading back home to Waco later today, we would think. For the Gauchos, they're now 0-2. They'll get ready to play San Diego State at 7 p.m. For Baylor, they end up hitting 329, Santa Barbara 101. The blocking again, the big difference, 16-4 in favor of Baylor. Diggs 24 for Santa Barbara, 26 for the Baylor Bears. Serving, the Bears got 6 aces, 8 errors. For Santa Barbara, 4 aces and 8 errors. Leading scorer for Santa Barbara, Michelle Owabete had 8 kills. Tallulah Froley with 8. Denny Wilson with 6. For Baylor, Lauren Harrison, 13 kills. Riley Simpson with 9. Kara McGee, 7 kills, 2 blocks. Allie Check, 4 kills and 4 blocks. Another nice performance by the high school All-American. The freshman Mallory Talbert had 2 kills and 5 blocks. Crowd today of about 150. Watch this one against Santa Barbara later tonight against San Diego State at 7 p.m. We'll have it on YouTube. All right, coming up at about noon, around 34 minutes, Pepperdine and San Diego State. We'll have it on the WCC network. So the Asics Classic continues. Pepperdine, San Diego State coming up. We'll be back in about 30 minutes, so stay with. I'm Al Epstein for our director and producer, Madison Parham.